This is the moment that designers cherish.
The moment designers love.
It's the moment we bring our clients into the finished product for the very first time.
The moment we show them how all of the elements have come together to create the home of their dreams.
This is The Reveal.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Farrell, and we are at Calibu Vineyard. We're here in the Santa Monica Mountains between Calabasas and Malibu, California, thus the name Calibu. We are actually making wine here at my home. We're on 3.5 acres with a 19-room, 7,300 square foot working home and vineyard. So I'm going to take you on a little tour where you'll get to see some design, some wine, and a lot of things that are fine. Come on in. We are inside Calibu Vineyard, and we're standing in one of my favorite spots. I know the spots here very well because this isn't just my home. I redesigned it from the ground up. So this home was originally built in the 80s as an English Tudor-style estate. It fell into disrepair over the years, and when I found it, it had been abandoned for almost a decade. So we have reimagined it as a modern Montauk-inspired retreat. We're standing here in the foyer, and some of the details here are my absolute favorites, particularly because we do have a working vineyard. This is a custom wine cellar that I built under the stairs to house our estate Grenache and our rosé. Looking up the stairs, we have a gorgeous mural from Charlotte Terrell. She's this incredible painter who did a custom piece for us that we then had printed on magnetic wallpaper from CMF. So that is something that we would probably never take down, but having it on a magnetic wallpaper made it so easy to install. Then if you look above, I have 20-foot ceilings in this space with an amazing chandelier that looks like a giant tumbleweed floating through the sky. You'll see I do like to hang a few crazy things here and there to keep people entertained. Come on in for more entertainment. We are here in the living room, which, despite the fact that it is technically a formal living room, there's a lot of fun, silly moments in this space. I like to have a little bit of whimsy in every design that I do. Everything from hanging a set of swing chairs by the fireplace to having a ceramic deer head with gold antlers on the wall. This room, we did keep the original paneling. It was something that I found to be very charming and a real detail that was special to me, but we painted everything out on the original very dark wood with a coat of bright white chalky paint. And now we have the dimension, but we have a lot of light airiness in the space as well. One of the best features here is that incredible chandelier. It is one of my favorites, and it looks like vines, which remind me of the grapevines in our vineyard. We have tile floors that are a faux wood. They look like real wood, but it's not easy to have dog and kids and husband and a pool with real wood on the floors. So we have 4,000 square feet of herringbone tile running indoors and out. Then we have a cozy fireplace, which is one of our favorite spots to sit at the end of the night, drink some wine, and swing in the swing chairs. But there's more to see. Let's go to the kitchen. This kitchen is really the heart of the home, and aren't all kitchens the heart of the home? We're standing though in a heart that is beating very differently than it used to. So when I bought this house, there was a wall between the kitchen and the dining room, and the space was very enclosed and dark. That's why we blew out this wall to build that glass wine cellar so you could really see the light from the vineyard coming all the way through to the foyer. Here, the centerpiece is this 19-foot island. It's wrapped in Namib Fantasy Quartzite, and it is really the darling workhorse of the space. We have about 15 appliances in the kitchen as well as in the prep kitchen. They're all monogram, and that gives us the opportunity for multiple refrigerators, multiple dishwashers, which I use more than I ever thought I would. So when I told House of Roll that I had a vineyard that was surrounded by a eucalyptus grove, they brought me this beautiful hand-painted sink with blue eucalyptus leaves and gold veins. That inspired me so much that it really became the heart of the entire design. And it makes washing dishes fun. So from this space, we are able to cook, play, work, see the vineyard, and then dine. Because we opened up that wall between the kitchen and the dining room, this really becomes one 500 square foot space. It's bright and airy, we have all new windows and doors, and this new remodel really has that feel of modern Montauk. So we kept the traditionalist spirit of the original home, but we spun it in a whole new modern way. It is fun having a 19-foot island, not just for entertaining purposes, but also for eating. We sit in here a lot. There are 7 bar stools, so it's a great place to have an informal dinner. Then the hardware on this island, I actually used the brass tones that are in the Statement Series knobs here at the cooktop. I took that and then selected all of the hardware so that it would match as well. We did a black island, and then our perimeter cabinets are all sort of a grayish tone. You see that play of the gray and white, the grayish and black, and the slate blue. Because of the beautiful leaves that are on our apron front for our sink, that was my cue for the tile that we did from floor to ceiling around our sink bay window. You'll see that same color in our dining room because we picked up that same slate blue tone to match in the dining room for our chairs. So in the living room, the chandelier was this very big, modern, grapevine looking piece. And you see that reflected in an abstract modern way with the chandelier that's over the dining table. It looks like giant chunks of grapes with big modern vines. I do like lighting, including these very large drum pendants that are over the island. One of the things that I am known for is large, overscaled organics. That's my mojo in design. So you see a lot of things in this home here at Calibu Vineyard that are overscaled and dramatic. Big island, big lighting, big smiles as we go through the home. And there's more to see. Now we're in my favorite spot, the bar. This is the tasting room. It is 1,000 square feet of pure fun. It actually has 3 areas to the room that all flow together, and it's really designed for play. This is the bar area where we do have a little tasting pocket. We can sit down, swing around in our swivel chairs, hang out in the bar stools, and taste some of our Calibu wines. We also have a comfy seating area where we watch the game, we can sit around with friends and gather. It's a cozy spot. And then we have our ping pong table. That is fun and gets used all the time. So here in the bar, we carried our Namib Fantasy from the kitchen onto our counters because again, everything needs a friend. And we have fabulous lighting in this space. These beautiful little pendants above my head really connect with the rest of the lighting in this space because you'll see the satin brass finish is the same throughout. Then we also have a 3-prong here, which connects with our 3-pronged fan in the middle of the room. So those little details really matter when you're trying to connect an entire design. I also have a lot of fabrics in the space that are very livable. My brand and my philosophy, livable luxury, which means that you can't just have a pretty house, you have to be able to live there. And because I have a husband and kids and a dog, it really means we've got to be able to sit on the furniture, prop up our feet, maybe spill the wine occasionally on the floor, and still be able to clean it up and live here. So even though everything here has a sense of elegance, it's really designed for play and for fun and livability. I do love a good glass of wine, and we are actually making our own wine here at Calibu Vineyard. So when I bought this property 3 years ago, it was an abandoned, foreclosed home that had a weedy field next to it. And we transformed the weedy field into a real Grenache vineyard. So we've worked with an incredible team of our winemaker, who is award-winning and brilliant, an incredible vineyard manager, and they built a vineyard for us with what's called Uber vines, which means they were already mature and ready to produce when they were planted. We're now making incredible wines with our Grenache Rosé and our Reserve Grenache, and they're estate grown. I even got to pick a grape or two. Now, while I hate to leave the bar, it's worth it to come into the tasting room and have a seat, because this house really is all about livable luxury. It's built around an idea of playfulness and joy. So you can sit here in the tasting room, enjoy a glass of wine, hang out with your friends, look out over the amazing backyard, all from the comfort of the tasting room. Behind me is that seating area I was talking about. That's a cozy family room area where we do get to gather around with friends, we watch a little TV, we get to play ping pong. We have this amazing custom table that I designed with 11 ravens, and it is a lucite top with a satin brass base. So that satin brass color ties in with the hardware on all of our storage, which we have tons of storage in this house. Gotta be livable. And we've got those details where the brass connects with our lighting fixtures and with the base there, some of our little accents. It's all those moments that help unite a design. Every piece needs a friend. I've got more things to show you, my friend. Let's go to the theater. It is a house all about play, including in the home theater, where we start with the Candy Center. That gets rated all the time. In this room, I did something for the first time. I designed a home theater. My company has been in business for over 20 years, and this was my first home theater design. This room picks up on the color tones of the rest of the house. You see the slate blue velvet walls that are a foot thick and have about 13 different layers of soundproofing materials inside. That means that we have excellent acoustics in here, and we've got our built-in sound system that's Dolby 7, so we can hear those jets fly right overhead. And we seem to have a simulation Formula One racer in here. Not sure that was part of my design, but it's probably the most used seat in the house. There's more to see. Come this way. We are in the guest bedroom, which there are several here. This is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath home. It's 7,300 square feet with 19 rooms, but this one probably has the best view. This room is a cozy space that, remember when I said every part of design needs a friend? Perfect example here. So the windows, which are really the focal point of this room because of the incredible view, that's where I took my design inspiration, and I took the grid pattern of those black framed windows and did custom doors for our closet. They have the same grid pattern, and you'll notice that they also have satin brass hardware next to the black, which ties in with the other satin brass elements in the house. And it looks out over the backyard with that gorgeous lagoon pool. If you're my guest, that means you're waking up to a vision of a resort oasis right here at home. Having a great bathroom for your guests is really a big part of making them feel at home. The room design was really based on a play on patterns. It's hard to mix patterns unless you use my tip, which is unite the color palette. Black and white was an easy choice here because I could mix so many different patterns, like our lattice and this beautiful one that looks almost like an Aztec rug, and then also our picket fence on the walls. Those three together can be friends because they're all in the same color palette, and it's a great way to mix patterns with fabrics, with tile. It's my little trick. And there's no better friend here in this guest bathroom than the fabulous artwork over the tub. 3 giant bathing beauties, which makes for a little touch of humor as you're in the bath. Well, you've now seen all the public spaces at Calibu Vineyard, but I'm about to take you inside my own private sanctuary. For me, this is truly the most special place in the house. We're now inside the primary suite. It's such a sanctuary here, and believe it or not, the entire suite is 1,600 square feet. That was actually too big. The original home had this space like a giant bowling alley. It was way too much, and so the way that I addressed that as a designer was to think in terms of making smaller spaces that were more intimate. So we've divided this up in a way that really makes for an entire home experience in this suite. We have a home gym, so I can work out at the end of the day. We're standing here in the lounge. This room was made really with the intention of creating a cozy space to start and end the day. So we get to have our coffee here in the morning, we get to have our wine here at night. We also have our fabulous French doors that open out to our Juliet balcony. That brings in so much light, and because it's a Juliet balcony, that means we can stand out there and still have a perfect view of the pool and the yard. This room really is made special though by that gorgeous mural behind me. So that was a photograph by Tess Hunt. She is a wild Mustang photographer. And when I said, Tess, I would like you to go find a wild Mustang that happens to be white and has perfectly standing up hair. I want you to get the horse to stare right at you and give me the very particular look that I need for this photo. She did. And so we've created this giant mural on the wall. And that moment when you walk into the space really defines that sense of play and relaxation that I hope is here in all of Calibu Vineyard. Now, what we did to make the spaces cozier was adding that wall. The wall is only 8 feet wide, which means it's not a blockade, but more of a visual stop that makes this feel like a room, and yet we still have these big open walkways on either side that lead into the primary bedroom. I'm not sure where to start because every place in this room makes me happy. One of the great things about waking up here is looking out over these floor-to-ceiling windows where the beautiful blue of the water, the green of the grass, and the crystal clear skies in the Santa Monica Mountains wake me every day. It's not a bad way to start. Then I start with my coffee. It's tough to decide sometimes. Will I have coffee in the lounge or will I have it here in the seating area? That spot gets used every day. It's a really cozy pocket that you can make in your own home if you've got enough room and you're looking for a way to make a bedroom feel cozier. It's nice to have a little seating area because it really does make it feel not just like a place you sleep, but a place you want to hang out. We do a lot of hanging out here, and speaking of hanging, there are pendant lights here that are ridiculously large. As I said, I do like things that are overscaled, that feel organic. So I selected these basket pendants that are 3 feet by 3 feet. They are huge. We do have high ceilings here, so we can afford that space. But in doing that, it gave an anchor to the floating bed. So the bed is in the middle of this room. The room was too big, and one of my tricks as a designer is pull the furniture away from the walls. That way you give more of an anchor to the center of the space instead of everything being up against the walls, because then it makes the room feel too vacuous. Here it feels connected and cozy. Another tie-in is the wall that has our gorgeous horse mural on one side is a deep gray on the other side. It's the same gray that's from downstairs. So you saw it in the tasting room, you see it on our doors, and then you see it again here in the bedroom. Those are the moments that mean everything has a friend. Well, come on, my friend, you gotta see my closet. I do actually sit in this chair every day as I'm putting on my shoes, swivel around, and enjoy the fact that all the mess is hidden. But there's nothing that I love more than being able to sit in these chairs and look up at those gorgeous pendants. These chandeliers tie in everything from downstairs and upstairs with the black frames and that satin brass hardware, and then those beautiful crystals reminds us of the chandelier from the downstairs living room as well as the other lighting in the house, so it all ties together. Well, this room may be fun, but I would say that everyone's favorite is the primary bath suite. Come this way. This is the primary bathroom, and yes, it is a big bathroom. However, it used to be bigger. It was such a large space that it really felt like a giant cavern, and it was very mismatched. There'd been some strange remodels done over the years, and it made no sense. So what I did in order to get that huge closet was I actually stole 8 feet from this bathroom, and you're not missing it. This room is still plenty big, and the way I kept it feeling big was with the wet room. So a wet room is an enclosed space that has both the tub and the shower, but it's got enough room to walk around inside. And in doing that, the center of this space being all glass means it still felt open and airy even though we took away 8 feet of space. We've got a really fun pendant hanging over the bathtub, and that is an outdoor pendant. That's my trick. If you're going to put lighting in a wet room, make sure that it's water rated for outdoor use. In doing that, you can have some really fun designs that are also UL approved and safe. We've got our rain shower head above. We've got 2 shower heads sticking out from the goosenecks. We also have our tub filler. We've got a hand shower. We've got all sorts of fun ways to splash around in the wet room. Then when it's time to dry off, here we've continued that tile from downstairs. So we've got the herringbone floors here in our faux wood look. And in doing that, again, we're uniting with the rest of the home in this bathroom space. This also means that we can spill water wherever we want and we don't have to worry because it's not wood. There are wood vanities that have those beautiful deep gray tones, those beautiful mirrors that hang on the wall in such an interesting capsule-like shape, then reflect the fabulous capsule pendants. So those I hung at multiple heights and in different clusters, a modern interpretation of the clusters of grapes hanging from the vines in our vineyard. Well, you've seen inside the house, but one of the best parts of living in the Santa Monica Mountains is outside, including a vineyard. We are here in the backyard at Calibu Vineyard, and this entire property is 3.5 acres. So it is a huge, expansive space, but we still wanted to have an enclosed backyard that kept a place where my dog felt safe and where we could do some intimate private parties. This area has a wonderful backyard patio that has the same herringbone tile from inside the house. So it continues right out here onto a 1,000 square foot patio space and keeps that indoor-outdoor flow going. We've got beautiful Forever Lawn LX everywhere here. That means that I have a no-maintenance backyard that is green and perfect all day long. I also have a Forever Lawn pet run for my dog Camper, and I've got a putting green. I am a big golfer. I'm a bad golfer, but I love to play, and I do think it should always be about a little play and a little fun in your home. The pool was a story. The original pool, which is 9 feet deep and 40,000 gallons, we wanted to keep. However, when we first bought it, it was like a swamp. It was filled with green slime and frogs and had been sitting abandoned for a decade. So resuscitating the pool was definitely a bit of a challenge and took a lot of work and energy. It is now a gorgeous, glowing lagoon-style pool with a 14-person in-ground hot tub. This space is definitely all about play and fun and cooking. We have an incredible outdoor kitchen that I wanted to keep the original flagstone that was actually on the patio in that area. So I built a kitchen that would mimic the shape of the patio. It's a curved kitchen that has our gorgeous tile from inside the house brought out there as well. And then we've got incredible appliances from Lynx, which are the best in outdoor cooking. So it really makes for a gourmet experience where we can barbecue every day. Then when we're ready to dine, we head to the vineyard. In the middle of our 350 vines of Grenache, we have a casual dining table and chairs with some string lights overhead. It's a beautiful space to watch the sunset and enjoy a quiet meal or enjoy some great wine. There's a darling casita at the top of the vineyard, and that was actually original to the property. So we wanted to keep that as a nod to the heritage of the home, but we turned it into our wine storage. So even though indoors we have a fabulous wine cellar that displays our wines, that's our working storage. It's climate controlled and can hold about 80 cases of wine, just enough for me. Thank you so much for joining me here at Calibu Vineyard. It has been my delight to tour you through this fun and fabulous property. Our Montauk-Inspired oasis is a great place to enjoy, to live some life, and to drink some wine.